Hey there, Stampers. My name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Alberta, Canada, and I'm here to share with you how to create this collage stamped card. And we're using the digital download. It's called a Share Sunshine PDF download. So it's like digital stamps. So you can download those and print them onto copy paper or cardstock, and they are fun little sayings that you can add to a card and send to friends and family during this whole thing that we're going through right now. And 100% of the proceeds go towards the COVID-19 fund that you select at checkout. The cost is $12 US. Like I said, 100% of the proceeds are donated. I will post a link below on how to access that, and you get 15 pages of a variety of sayings, and there's some fun ones like quarantine and chill, sending love and paper hugs. We're in this together. There's some images, so have another quarantini. I'd totally share my toilet paper with you. So there's just some really, really fun sayings that you can add to some projects and send off to friends and family. Okay, now, we are using two different stamp sets today, and they are two stamp sets that you likely wouldn't normally pair together. So the Painted Poppy stamp set and the It Starts With Art stamp set. This one is carrying over, this one is retiring. And I love these background images from this Painted Poppy set. So that's what we're using here. And then we're gonna use several images from this stamp set as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I am going to use a 3 3/4 inch by 5 inch piece of Whisper White cardstock. I'm just gonna pull in a scrap piece of paper. And I am using Pineapple Punch to start with, and then this large splotch from the Painted Poppies, I don't know what else to call it, blob. And I'm just going to stamp randomly all over this background. So you can see that I'm stamping some off of the page, and that just makes it look like it's pre-printed and cut down to the size that I want it. And then I'm going to use this speckled background image and Call Me Clover and do the same thing, except this time I'm going to stamp off. I want it to be just a little bit lighter. So all three of the colors that I use today are in colors that are retiring. They are the 2018-2020 in colors. And there is Pineapple Punch, Call Me Clover, Blueberry Bushel, Lovely Lipstick, and Grapefruit Grove. Those colors are all retiring and are only available while supplies last. Now I'm using Blueberry Bushel, and again, I'm gonna come in just with some blue speckles, and I'm not really thinking about where I put them, just making sure that there's kind of a splattering all over. Okay, so now I'm gonna come in with some Memento ink, and I'm going to use this large stack of ribbon that is from the It Starts With Art stamp set. And again, I'm just going to kind of randomly stamp them, and I'm doing them in different directions. Again, not overly overthinking things. And then I'm going to use this little binder clip. Good. And then I'm just going to use this little trio of, I don't know if these are like sequins or buttons, maybe sequins, and just fill in some of these gaps. Okay. All right, so I am just going to set this aside just for a few seconds so it can dry, because I'm going to come in with some sponging and I want to make sure that nothing smears. So while that's drying, I'm gonna go through my downloads and see what I want to use. And I think I want to use this because I need a birthday card. So I'm going to punch it out using my 2-inch circle punch. And I just printed these out on Whisper white cardstock just using my home printer. And then I've already gone ahead and punched out a Starburst punch from basic black cardstock. And this combination, this 2-inch circle punch and the Starburst punch, it's one of my most used punch combinations. And the Starburst punch is retiring. I'm so sad about that because I use it so much. Okay, so now I've got some Happiness Blooms enamel dots, and I want the green ones. And I'll just use my paper piercer. I'm gonna pick off one of the largest ones and put it in the center, and then I'll use 2 of the smaller ones, one on either side. So by picking them off with my paper piercer, it just allows me to easily position it without my fingers getting in the way. There we go. Okay, so this should be good now. So I'm going to pull back my Pineapple Punch ink, and I've just got one of our Stampin' Sponges. So these come in like a circle shape, and then you can just cut them into 8s. I think I cut them into 8s. And then you can use them for different colors. So I'm going around the edges first. And then I'm going to go over everything in the center, and just lightly. And that will just soften that white just ever so slightly, so it's not so stark. There we go. Okay, so we can move this out of the way, and now we'll bring in the rest of our pieces. Okay, so I've got a piece of Blueberry Bushel cardstock that measures 5.5 by 8.5. It's scored at 4 1/4. And I'm just gonna fold that along the score line. And then I have a piece of Call Me Clover cardstock that measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And that is going to be the mat for my focal point. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Something's going on upstairs. Somebody keeps dropping something. Okay, there we go. And then this is going to go onto our card base. Just like that. And then this is going to get popped up using dimensionals. I've got a few left on this sheet, so where are my scissors? Here we go. Just going to trim around the edges. You want to use up every last bit that you can. Even the edges are perfect for popping something up. And then that's going to go in the bottom right-hand corner, just like that. And then what I've done is I've taken some bits of the 3 different colors that I've used. So Pineapple, Blueberry Bushel, and Call Me Clover ribbon. Again, those are retiring. And I've cut, I don't know, it's probably about a 4-inch length piece of each, and folded them over, and then just wrapped a piece of black baker's twine around them and tied a bow. And that is going to get added on there. I love this ribbon because you can do that. You can put 3 layers and it doesn't add a ton of bulk because it is such a thin ribbon. Okay, so I just added a mini glue dot there, and then that's going to go on there. And then this is gonna go on the inside of our card. So we can sponge around the edges if you want to bring in kind of that yellow tone to the inside of your card. You can go ahead and sponge around the edges. And then we'll just use snail, pop that inside here, just like that. And there we go. So there's my original, sending joy and sunshine, not germs. Isn't that fun? And then it's your birthday, let's digitally party. The other thing that you can do is you can also create an envelope flap to match. So I've done that for each one of these cards as well. So I just used the same stamping technique that I did on the Whisper White card front here, or panel for the front, and then just repeated that on an envelope. All right, so if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up. If you are not yet a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. I'd love for you to subscribe so that you can see future videos. And I will have a full supply list and a link to my online store in the description below. If you have any questions, just post in the comment. I'm always happy to answer them. Thanks so much for watching.